2, man-to-man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Alabama did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Come on, Dad, I'm running circles around you.
I know, sweetie. Dad's not very fast these days.
What about yesterday? Were you fast yesterday?
No, not...
Or the day before that?
I was...
Or the day before that?
Actually, I wasn't ever really fast. Hard to believe, I know.
Kids are special. Let's treat them that way.
That's okay. When I was little, I wasn't fast either. Now I'm fast, so you'll be fast tomorrow. That's how it works. Now come on.
At St. Baldrick's Foundation, we want kids to be kids, not just during trips to the park, but when they need us most, when they need help fighting cancer. That's why the advanced research we fund is specifically designed to help children.
I'm pooped after all this.
Dad, you're supposed to do that in the bathroom.
Support St. Baldrick's and childhood cancer research today by going to stbaldricks.org and getting involved.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
The following is the production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone! It's a home run! It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams!
WEGL Sports.
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series!
Where every...
Did the Auburn Tigers walk off with a 12-4 victory?
game.
There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back.
Lives. It's now time for the Extra Point. Auburn's best sports talk personalities on Auburn's best station.
We the North are now we the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
Auburn's most watched sports TV show, Auburn's best sports talk radio show.
Lillard, long range three, and it's good! At the buzzer, Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Call in at 334-844-9345 to join the debate.
Oh my God!
Deep to right field, way up there, and way out of here! Second deck walk-off home run! Grand slam, Bryce Harper!
Lock in. The Extra Point starts now on WEGO Radio and Eagle Eye TV. Presented by WEGO Sports, where every game lives.
Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
Welcome into the Extra Point on this Thursday morning. Hopefully everybody's having a great Thursday. Friday is just around the corner. The weekend is just around the corner, so just hold on tight. We are almost there. Hello, everybody. Jared Diller holding it down in the studio today, and joining me in the studio is Carter Bird, Devin Foreman, and Jack Hart. It's been a long time since I've seen a lot of you guys, to be quite honest. So first, Carter, we'll start with you. It's been about a whole week.
It has been a week. It's been exactly a week, Jared.
How have you been?
I've been fantastic, Jared. How have you been?
You know what? Carter, I missed you.
I missed you too, bud. This is the sweetest moment that we even have ever had
on
the
show.
show.
Devin. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I've been good. I do miss you guys, though, for real. I really did.
Well,
hey,
it's been a long week.
And there's no.
That's why I had a bad week.
Hey, you know what's good progress is he's on what is this show? Is this show 4? Is this show 5?
5.
Getting there.
And there's no segment-long rant about how we let him pick the Dolphins to win 7 games or whatever it was.
It was 5.
Like last week.
It was 5.
I have been feeling good. And
progress.
I think it's just because I ain't been with you guys. So week have been kind of iffy.
Iffy.
Yeah, iffy.
Jack, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. I've accomplished most of the things I need to do this week, which prevented me from being on the show past couple of days. So I'm over the hill and ready to coast into this weekend.
And through the woods.
I don't know if coast is, I don't know if coast is the right word. Because we still got some very important days coming up, especially with you're heading to Gainesville.
Oh, absolutely.
Carter,
absolutely.
Are you going to Gainesville too?
Yes, sir.
Devin, are you going to Gainesville?
Actually, I'll be another part of I got to go to Miami for a wedding. Got to shoot.
Oh,
Miami?
Yeah.
I want to go to Miami.
Why am I the only person not going to Florida?
Jared, have you ever left the state? I can barely get you out of your apartment some days.
Wait.
Hey, you can come with me, though.
First of all, do you not remember the story long ago in 2017 where we both went to the Baton Rouge LSU game and we sat like 2 rows from each other and did not notice?
I do remember that.
Okay, so I've obviously left the state.
Hey, if you want to go to Florida, Miami with me, you can come.
I don't know.
I just got a wedding Saturday.
I don't know if I can survive in Miami, to be quite honest.
A wedding? It's going to be on the beach. South Beach.
Miami.
Oh, just Miami.
Just Miami in general. I'm not sure if I can survive that.
I know.
With all that being said, let's get into the show for today. Opening up with baseball. I can talk about baseball now because it's the postseason. The Tampa Bay Rays defeated the Oakland Athletics 5-1 to advance to the ALDS as they will now take on the Houston Astros.
Hey, can we just give a clap to the? You know, he did say that though. The GOAT did say that.
I'm already over this segment already.
Can you help? Can you give him a clap for that?
No.
Hey, this is huge for Jack and I, who have been on the Rays bandwagon this whole year, as they have continued their slightly below dominance, so they could make the wild card and then win the wild card game. Because apparently all they do is hit home runs now.
They hit home runs and they have good enough pitching,
which
is about all you
is
need.
Good enough pitching is good enough pitching good enough to go against this absurd starting 3 pitchers for the Astros.
I don't think so.
Have you seen it? It's on Verlander, Cole, Greinke.
The Astros are the only team ever to not intentionally walk someone for a whole season.
That's kind of sick.
That is insane.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Look, here's the thing. First of all, I don't remember who I picked in this game because I know yesterday I think I said A's. On Monday, I think I said Rays. And then on Ryan Walker's for the Ryan Express Excel sheet or Google form, I think I also put Rays. So it was a wash for me. I don't care for the wild card games. Now we're actually going to go into the pick'em for baseball and putting our chops on the line, so to speak. Yeah. So obviously the Rays had a great pitching performance. And
Charlie
the bats lit up.
I mean, when Charlie Morton got in that bases loaded in the first inning, I thought, all right, this could be like a 12-11 shootout, something crazy. But Charlie Morton was able
to be Wazoo, UCLA, Pac-12 after dark.
Don't you bring that up?
Yeah. Once he got out of that, I think he really settled into a groove, and I think this game was like 1 or 2 pitches away from being a completely different ball game. But Charlie Morton showed the resilience, showed some postseason grit, and was able to get out of that bases loaded jam, and he was just in a groove for the rest of the game. So, excellent pitching there by the Rays, and not too shabby by the A's either. It was just the bats showed up for Tampa, and they were able to jack a couple right out of the yard.
Well, you had Yandy Diaz hit a couple home runs last night, and that's kind of all. When you have a guy like Charlie Morton, who was so dominant these past 2 years for the Rays and the Astros, you don't need a lot. And the Rays bullpen, like you said, it's good enough. It's good enough to win games, and it was good enough to beat the A's last night.
It was. It was good enough to get the dub, and that's really all that matters. Now they face the Goliath in the Houston Astros.
Oh, gosh.
Which you talked about the first 3 pitchers that the Astros are going to use.
I'm terrified of, I don't even play baseball anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified of those pitchers.
Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, Zach Greinke.
How many Cy Youngs do they have between those 3? At least 5?
They have at least 5.
They probably have more Cy Young appearances together than the Rays and Athletics have just total World Series. How many World Series do Athletics have?
Maybe 4.
Okay, so yeah, they do, because the Rays don't have any World Series. They've been to one, they haven't won one.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what we're talking about right now.
Greinke only has 1 Cy Young, which is shocking to me.
So if you love the Rays, great win. Now, here's the thing. If the Rays can somehow find a way to sneak away at least 1 game out of those 3, I know it's a 5-game series, but that's still, they're getting set up to be swept with that starting rotation that you see that the Astros have. So if they can just sneak away 1 game, I'll be pleasantly surprised for the Tampa Bay Rays.
I think these games will be entertaining, if nothing else. It'll be an absolute clinic by the pitching staffs and probably a couple of solo shots sprinkled in there. So I'd like to see the Rays to keep them close. Not to give anything away, but I think the Stros are pretty much a lock here. But I'd like to see the Rays at least put up a fight, which I think they have the motivation and confidence to do after battling with the likes of the Yankees for the whole season and then coming away with that wild card win last night.
All right, so I have an answer to how many Cy Youngs do the Astros starting 3 pitchers have, and it's not nearly as many as I thought.
How many is it?
2. They've only won 2 Cy Youngs, which is shocking.
So if Greinke has 1, who
Verlander has 1 in his MVP season, then he doesn't have another.
Garrett Cole doesn't have a Cy Young?
I know, it shocks me.
Well, yeah, Garrett Cole's always kind of been the number 2 guy. He's always been behind someone, hasn't he?
Well, when he was at the Pirates, he was the ace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then he's been the number 2 to Verlander, but only in name. He's literally been just as good as Verlander has been.
Right.
And Verlander might win a Cy Young this year.
So obviously the ALDS is set. This crowd, this squad right here, wasn't able to talk about the NLCS as the Brew Crew blew a 3-1 lead. Warriors fans, cover your ears, to the Nationals. And now the Nationals are moving on. And as I was talking about last week, in one of the odds machines that ESPN uses, the Nationals were the fourth most favorite team to reach the World Series.
Yeah, and I think that's due to the pitching staff that they still have good old Strasburg.
Yeah,
and,
that guy.
Yeah, the guy.
Both of Scherzer and Strasburg both had to pitch.
Yeah.
In that NLCS game.
Which, they usually, it was reversed, right? Usually Strasburg starts and Scherzer was, in all the other times, the Nationals have kind of faltered at home, but they switched it up and started Scherzer, which ended up being the difference because Strasburg was able to come in and kind of get an effective save there.
So I just have something that I thought about watching the Nationals celebrate the way that they did. You have to turn around and play in 2 days, and you're having champagne and beer showers in the locker room.
That was their World Series.
You're right, because they technically had never. I'm not sure if you can call this a series.
I think. Well, no.
I think
they'd never won a series.
They are 1-8 in elimination games in the playoffs, and that one was another wild card game.
Yeah, I think technically they're not allowed to call it a series win.
So the Nationals have yet to win since their move from Montreal. Have yet to win a playoff series.
So,
but all of that change.
I feel like it kind of. It kind of sets up nicely for the Dodgers with the fact that they had such an emotional win 2 nights before, and then celebrated like it was the biggest thing ever. There's got to be a little bit of maybe heavier legs going into this game 1 tonight, where you've got Buehler pitching against Corbin, and I like Buehler in that.
That wildcard game, it was in D.C., right?
Correct.
So they had to fly from D.C. all the way to L.A.
That's a flight.
And now they got to play the Dodgers after throwing their 2 aces, pretty much.
Yeah.
They're going to be tired. They're probably exhausted. I don't see how this ends.
Momentum is key.
And Walker Buehler of the fame of last postseason, because he just really wants somebody to give him his daggum shirt. And that famous hot mic moment.
But Devin is right. Momentum is key. I don't know if the Nationals have enough momentum to take down the Dodgers empire.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
Yeah. But momentum is important.
Might as well celebrate.
There's a reason why the Dodgers are on the money line in this game are -170. Because they're fresh. They've got their best pitchers ready to go. The Nationals really don't.
It's in L.A.
Yeah. I mean, this series, it does not pan out well for the Nationals, I don't think.
Well, we will talk about that on the other side of the break. We'll be making our picks for all the divisional series games as the Extra Point continues. You're watching and listening to the Extra Point here on WEG on 911 and Eagle Eye TV.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Gain practical experience with emerging technology and equipment not found in the civilian world. The Army National Guard can get you started in an array of STEM-related career fields such as information technology, communication systems, Special Forces engineers, technical engineering, air traffic control, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear science. Get a head start on your career in an exciting new field while earning money to pay for college, all while serving in your own community. Log on to NationalGuard.com or talk to a recruiter in your area to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Want to help pull the plug on cyber terrorists? Or get the skills to work with satellites and other space technology? How about learning the avionics inside stealth fighters? And do you want to reach your goals fast? You can do it and take your life to the next level in the Air National Guard. Because you serve part-time, you do it in a way that works for you. You can achieve your career and educational goals with plenty of time for family and friends. The Air Guard offers nearly 200 career specialties, so you'll get the high-tech skills you need to kick your career into high gear. You can also be eligible for college tuition assistance. The best part is, in the Air Guard, you'll be making a real difference by serving your community and country. So get your future off the ground in the Air National Guard. Call the Alabama Air National Guard at 1-800-TOGO-ANG or visit goang.com/AL.
Can't keep me down.
Welcome back to Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello, everybody. Jared Dillard, joined by Carter Bird, Devin Foreman, and Jack Hart. As we are now getting into baseball postseason in general, the picks for the divisional round. Let's go. So we should probably just go in order of the games that are coming up first.
Lead us off, Jared.
Today is the National League, and the first game up at 4:02 Central Time are the St. Louis Cardinals traveling to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, is there a game today?
There is a game today.
Shoot.
Yeah.
There's a game today.
You would never tell by Jack. Jack on his team's game days.
Let's
never
go.
be able to tell.
So, yes, the story is true. There are a lot of Braves fan on these shows. Devin, are you a Braves fan?
Actually, I'm a Mets fan. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You would never be able to tell who Jared's a fan of because he never supports his teams.
So obviously there's a lot of Braves fans on the Extra Point. And I will be honest, I am that lone Cardinals fan.
Yeah, but are you? I mean, you're somehow a Colts and a Cowboys fan at the same time. You used the word "we" for both.
How is that? That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Attaboy, Jared.
Let's go.
So, hold on. I'll get my headphones off.
Is that your cap from Little League?
Yes, it actually is.
This is great radio right now. Jared is putting on a St. Louis Cardinals hat.
That's probably more than a decade old.
Yeah.
15 years.
Definitely more than a decade old.
15 years.
Well, I played Little League when I was... So it's 12 years old, yeah. It's 12 years old.
12?
Yeah, it's 12 years old.
I was 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how old his hat is.
Wow.
All right. So, as you can see, if you're watching on the stream, Jared's going to go with the Cardinals.
I'm not necessarily going with the Cardinals, but...
Oh, Jared does not support his teams yet.
No, I do. We haven't gotten We haven't gotten to pick them yet. Obviously, I'm supporting the Cardinals. Jack has his Atlanta Braves on. Like, okay, we know it's going to be a little bit tense in here. Okay, I just want to go ahead and air that out. Okay. With that being said,
let's go.
Let's just go ahead and get into these games. We've got 4 to get into, kind of break them down and get our picks in. Carter, we'll start with you. Cardinals and Braves. Give me a winner. Give me how many games?
Braves in 4.
You're not gonna.
I just think that they're a better team. I think the Cardinals will get 1, but I like the Braves in this series, and I think it starts tonight as I think Dallas Keuchel's the better of the 2 aces, and the Braves are the better of the 2 teams.
Devin, how about you?
Before I became a Mets fan, I used to like all Atlanta teams because that was like the closest to where I'm from. But they used to always let me down when it came to the playoffs. But this year's gonna be different. This time's gonna be different. And I'm about to go with the GOAT on this one too. 4-0 Braves. I'm sorry, I just that's why I'm not a Hawks fan anymore.
I can understand the Hawks thing.
Even it's just the Falcons too.
The Braves will let us down, don't you worry. But it will not be in this series.
Okay.
No. The Braves will defeat the Cardinals by a sum of 4 games. I think the Braves have the home run hitting ability paired with the pitching that is going to be too much for the Cardinals to handle, as they've had to be just slogging through that NL Central to get to the postseason while the Braves have kind of had a week or two to rest their stars. I think Acuna hasn't played for the better part of 2 weeks now. So I think the Braves will be fresh. They'll be ready to go. Atmosphere will be electric in SunTrust tonight, and I think the Braves will probably get a couple knocks to send them over the top tonight and in the series.
So get the broom out. Sweep.
Yep.
Sweep.
Well,
four games. I'm giving you one.
Well, this is how I'm gonna go about this.
Wow.
Give me the Cardinals,
of course,
in 4.
I just
if
you had said 5, I would have been like,
The Cardinals have one of the best pitching staffs since the All-Star break. They have the MLB leading ERA. The pitching is on lock. Yes, the Cardinals kind of slogged their way through toward the end when the series was on the line, but they proved when their backs was against the wall, when they needed to sweep the Cubs in Wrigley, they did it for the first time in 98 years. The Cardinals obviously also had a lot of injuries going on. Colton Wong was out. He'll be back for tonight's game against the Braves. So it's a batting lineup that is sneaky good. They don't hit a lot of home runs, but they do play a lot of small ball. They do like to push runs across the plate. When they do hit home runs, they can. They can hit home runs. And I think the pitching staff for the Cardinals will come through in a big way. I do know that one of the Braves' kind of weaker points in their organization is that their pitching, most notably their bullpen, can be shaky here or there. I think the Cardinals, if they can at least get through him by at least 5 innings, not that Keuchel's going to give a lot of runs, but if they can at least get the bullpen to start throwing and get into the game around the 5th or the 6th inning, they can take advantage of that late game heroics and try to get a win in the first game of the series. Now, that being said, I will say the team that wins tonight wins the series. I do think it will be that kind of series. So I do think the Cardinals can sneak out with the win, even if they're going to be trailing for a good bit of it. So I do think the Cardinals in 4.
fair enough. Both teams, didn't finish the regular season exactly red hot. I know both of them had already.
Both teams didn't get 100 wins, so disappointment there for both clubs.
Yeah.
Well, were the Cardinals ever really in the conversation for that?
No.
The Braves were. The Cardinals weren't really. With that being said, other game, Nationals, Dodgers. That is later at 7:37. Both games are on TBS, by the way.
Because TBS has the rights to all NL games.
Who do you have, Washington or
TBS.
Dodgers?
I'm taking Dodgers all day, and I think the Dodgers might take it in 3.
No.
I think it might be a sweep.
1, 2, 3.
How about you?
The Nationals gonna get the first one. Game 1. After that's gonna be done for. I think they're gonna ride this momentum. Let's get it.
I think.
Wait. Come on. Did he pick the Nationals?
Just one game. Just one game.
No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading an
Devin's
email.
mom calls in.
I was reading an email.
She was finna call in if I would have said something like that. Like, really?
I think this series could be a carbon copy of what we saw last year with the Dodgers v. Atlanta. I think the Dodgers will take the first 2 with dominant pitching. Maybe the Nationals come back to D.C. and get one, but the Dodgers coast from there to the NLCS.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Dodgers, and I'll say Dodgers. I'll say I know. You know, forget it. Sweep. I was looking at the Nationals one game, but then I thought better of it. Dodgers in a sweep. Let's go over to the AL, as their games will start tomorrow. First game up, and this is going to suck. Tampa Bay at Houston. If you want to watch that, you can watch it starting at 1:05 on FS1. Yeah, this game is at 1:05 tomorrow afternoon.
That's so
1 o'clock on a Friday?
Because we have 4 games playing tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's 1:05, 3:37, 6:07, and 8:37.
I mean, I guess they're trying not to compete with football, but man.
And also, you want to put your two big teams, New York and LA, kind of in prime time. So
yeah,
it makes sense that Tampa Bay Houston got put at 1:05. But Tampa Bay and Houston, we kind of already talked about it a little bit. Carter, who you got and how many games?
As much as it pains me to say it, I don't see the Rays beating any of these arms for the Astros. I think the Astros sweep in 3 games.
Devin?
I'm about to agree. With that one.
Jack?
I try to give people hope a little bit. I just can't.
I'll give the Rays 1. I'll bank on one of these starters having an off day.
Which one, though?
Which basically top 5 pitcher in the league are you projecting to lay an egg in the postseason?
Greinke gives up 3 runs, and that's enough. So that's my take.
Who is he matched up with? Is he matched up with Morton in Game 3? I think he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
if they were going to get one,
is it Snell Verlander on Friday?
No, it's Glasnow Verlander on Friday, and then it's Snell in Game 2.
I think the crazy thing that we keep in mind is that the Rays also have good pitching.
Rays have great pitching.
So as long as
the Rays have a nice pen too, which is like the biggest part of the team.
As long as the Rays can get 3 to 4 runs, which isn't bad for a starting pitcher, and their bats can't get.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Greinke's going to get chased out of the game. I'm saying he might give up 3, and then that's going to be enough for the Rays to maybe sneak one into defensive struggle.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these games. I think both teams would be lucky to score 5, not combined, but each team would be lucky to score 5.
Well, that being said, Astros in the sweep, and then last game
giving a lot of sweeps.
Yeah, and last game up. New York and Minnesota, which honestly, this is out of all the games, this is the one that I think is least on people's radars. By the way, you need MLB Network if you want to watch this. It'll be at 6:07 tomorrow. Carter, who you got?
In this one, you have the only 2 teams in MLB history to hit 300 home runs in a season, facing off. Yankees' weakness all year has kind of been pitching. Twins. Kind of shocking that they got 100 wins going into the year.
Let's go Minnesota.
Well, when you're matched up with the Royals and the Tigers all year.
Yeah, that kind of helps.
Yeah, but they did have to beat out the Indians, who have pretty much dominated that division for a while now. But I would say take Yankees in 5.
Really? You think they'll push them to 5 games?
I think the Twins will figure out some weird way to win a couple games. Hit an absurd amount of home runs and win just like a couple odd games.
Devin?
I am a Mets fan, so Minnesota.
And how many games?
Come back to me.
Jack?
I like the Yanks. My Yanks are my favorite for the World Series this year. I really like what the Yankees have done, and I think that I want to say that Minnesota is going to be their biggest trouble in the postseason, not because it's their toughest opponent, but I think they're going to need to take a second to get back to playing October baseball well. So I say they're going to falter against Minnesota, but come up big against the Stros in the championship series. So I'll give them a victory in 4 games in this series, and I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Hey man, I don't think those picks come until the championship series picks come until next week.
Hey, let him dream for a little bit.
I said they're my favorite. That doesn't mean I'm going to pick them.
Well, as Carter knows, the Yankees are my second favorite team.
Yeah. Ew.
I hate your fandom. I hate your fandom with the passion.
Why I don't know what's wrong with it. But with that being said, Yankees in 4. Devin, how many games you got? Twins in how many?
5.
I don't mind the Yankees. It's the Red Sox I hate.
I can't go for the Yankees, man.
Wait, what? Why do you? How do you hate the Red Sox over the Yankees?
Have you ever met a Red Sox fan?
Let's put it this way. Hold on, I got to take this hat off because it's not working with my ponytail right now. You know what?
12 years too.
You guys, yes, the hat is 12 years old. You guys,
isn't that? Hasn't it been 12 years since the Yankees won a World Series?
And 10.
Yeah, Carter.
Did they win in 09?
09.
Thought they won in 07. It's on me.
With that being
Red
said,
Sox fans.
Yeah, with that being said, you guys can discuss that during the break because that's where we're going. And when we come back, we're going to have some NFL news on the other side of the break. You're watching Let's Into Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on Weagle 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, Weagle FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with Weagle Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and Weagle 91.1 FM, Auburn.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzzed driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says, "I'm a catch," more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Who in here trying to start a riot?
And welcome back to the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello, everybody. I'm Jared Dillard, joined by Carter Bird, Devin Foreman, and Jack Hart. As we're now getting into some NFL news before we get into Thursday night football this week. What is Thursday night football game, actually?
I was just about to ask.
Oh, it is Rams
Seahawks, which is a great one.
And I'm going to miss it.
Thursday night football is so much better than Monday night football right now.
By the way, guys, just
right now.
Yeah. Side note.
Hey, what's up, Jared?
I am working from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock tonight. So if the Braves game is happening and the Cardinals are getting blown out.
I think the Braves game will be happening. I don't think that's an if statement.
He did say it like it's.
So if the Braves are blowing out the Cardinals and you're texting me like, making fun of it, I'm not answering, not because I don't want to answer. It's because I'm currently at work. Okay.
What work are you doing?
Redacted.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, you texted me during the football games. I think you're supposed to be working then too.
That's only when things are going bad. And I need some input on what's going on inside the stadium.
Yeah, when Jared can't fix the clock.
Come on, Jared.
It's
just a clock.
For the
just hit go. It's stop and go.
I want everybody in the world to know that Jared controls the clock every Saturday.
It's your fault.
Carter.
It's your fault.
When we come back for Ole Miss on November 2nd, what crazy thing are many people do to get a field pass?
I don't know yet. We haven't decided on that one yet.
Mm-hmm. I don't control the clock.
I'll let you know.
We don't control the clock. All right. Back on topic.
Let's go.
NFL. So Rams Seahawks, that is tonight. We'll talk about that on the other side of the next break. But there's some NFL news buzzing. Most notably, Jalen Ramsey is still a Jaguar for now. The Jaguars owner Khan says there is no plan to trade Jalen Ramsey. So there's going to be a little bit of a struggle between Ramsey and the Jaguars for it looks to be the next couple of weeks because it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. It doesn't seem like no other teams really popped up on the radar recently to be like, yeah, I don't think the Jaguars they want to hold on to him as much as they can.
I've said it once. I've said it 100 times since he requested this trade. Dadgum, the Kansas City Chiefs need to go get him now. Now. Gotta have him. He is the exact thing that their defense lacks, a lockdown corner to help a secondary that right now is not very good. And if you had the lockdown corner, then you can compete. You don't need to wait around until potentially in a couple weeks the Patriots trade for Stephon Diggs to add him. Don't sleep on that, by the way, because Stephon Diggs wants out. And I mean, it's just gonna be a terrible situation if you keep him in Jacksonville right now. He said that when respect is lost, it's time to move on. Well, clearly, him and Marone have lost respect for each other, at least based on the comments, and he doesn't want to play. And even if he does play, I mean, regardless of whether he says he's giving full effort or not, he's not going to be as bought in, and it's going to affect your team at some point. You might still win. See what you can get for him right now.
I just want to point out, I just realized that the Raiders and Bears are playing in London this week.
Yes.
I just now realized
Very
that.
cool.
Did you say?
Very cool.
Very.
I bring that up.
Cool.
Please stop. I bring that up because Derek Carr gave a very passionate defense of Vontaze Burfict. Remember, he's suspended for the season.
Has Derek Carr ever done anything like with emotion?
I don't know.
He seems like a very just meh guy.
But Derek Carr says that Vontaze Burfict's heart is broken after he's been suspended for a whole season.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Isn't the Colts player's neck also broken?
I mean, close.
Hey, I can confirm that Jack Doyle is fine because he continued to play the game somehow, despite his fragile nature of always getting hurt and getting concussions in the past. Somehow he didn't get one on that play. He kept playing, and he's playing this week against Kansas City.
Yeah, so everybody's fine except for Burfict, who apparently has a broken heart.
You know, if Burfict didn't act like an idiot leaving the stadium, maybe it wouldn't be a full suspension. But when you're pumping up the crowd, the road crowd, after you almost destroy a player's season, maybe life potentially, and then you're blowing kisses to the crowd and acting like choice words an idiot again, then, I mean, that doesn't help your case. If you just be like, yeah, it's on me. If you take some ownership and responsibility, maybe you could play some games this year, but the fact that you acted the way you acted definitely didn't help you when it comes to your ability to stay on the field. And now the Raiders took two big chances in the offseason, and both of them have backfired terribly. And now you have a team that, thought like it looked like they could get back on the right path. Now they're done. Now they're a 4-12 team, and they won't be anything more than that the rest of the season.
Devin, do you think the Raiders are kind of in that position right now?
Oh, I totally agree with the GOAT with that one. I just agree with that. But I understand why it's heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? You play the game with so much energy and emotion, and you just snatch it away from you.
So much violence. So much disregard for the rules. He has been suspended in 4 consecutive seasons.
No, not last year.
No, he was last year. He was suspended at the beginning of the year because he had a dirty hit in the preseason. He has literally been suspended each of the past 4 seasons. By the end of this year, over the last 4 seasons, there are 64 regular season games. He will have missed 22 of them due to suspension. That's absurd.
He's just an old school.
Missed a third
of the old school dude that's playing a new school game. So it's sort of like it's hard for him to balance it.
You gotta adapt. Everybody else in the league's adapted, except for him.
Well, he can't, so we just going to just.
Yeah, so if you can't adapt to the new rules and the new league, you shouldn't be able to play in the league.
So do you think he's going to play again?
He'll play again. Don't know. I don't know if the Raiders will hang on to him, and I don't know if he leaves. The Redskins will probably sign him because the Redskins have an awesome history of signing players.
Yeah, he's going the Skins to the boys next.
No, he goes to the Patriots.
The logical progression.
Why you throw the Cowboys in there like
Cowboys have no regard for human life.
Randy Gregory,
Patriots.
I mean, the Redskins. Who they signed? Was it Reuben Foster with all of his issues and allegations last year? They signed him right after allegations came out against him.
It wasn't true. So Reuben,
well,
I ain't studying.
It's still just like
it's
a weird timing to sign him.
Signed him as soon as he came out.
Yeah, why you gonna throw the Cowboys in there when the Patriots literally had a guy who murdered somebody and then play football the same week?
Patriots, we're gonna get him. Yes,
Patriots are a corner case. They're a rehab program.
Ring us.
Oh man, what other NFL news is there?
The Patriots signed a kicker.
Give us a ring. Did. Oh, that's another ring us again.
What was it? Mike Nugent?
Yes.
Yeah. Signed Mike Nugent to a deal as their kicker went down on IR. I didn't know he was hurt.
Yeah, he had a hip injury. And if you watched him this year, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't
missed
quite. A couple of kicks.
Yeah, he wasn't quite the consistent, accurate kicker that he's been known to be. And you saw them shut him down, and now go out and get another kicker.
Saquon is apparently running on his ankle.
Don't know how.
So, hey, I told you, medicine. These times this time of year is
doing a lot of stretching, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the medical advancements that the NFL and other sports have made is astonishing. And now they say he's not gonna play against Vikings pretty much, but he may be back sooner than they realize. Now, if you want to be safe, he is your star player. You probably still set him out for a couple of weeks, even when he says, "Yeah, I can be back," because you want to make sure that he's 100%, 100%.
I mean, they aren't that far out of it right now.
I told you, Daniel Jones is going to run down. Daniel Jones is going to run down the Carolina Panthers.
They're one game back, tied with the Eagles for second in their division. I wouldn't sleep on them. I think they've got a real shot here.
Well, it helps that they played the Redskins, who are currently vying for worst team in the NFL. Granted, the Dolphins have that locked up. But the Redskins and the Bengals,
they play each other. That's exciting.
That is true. The Toilet Bowl coming to a theater near you soon.
If you look at the playoff picture right now, oh boy, is it something.
Talk to me.
In the AFC, you have the Browns, the Bills, and the Raiders all in the playoffs as it stands right now. In the NFC,
this is why the NFL
49ers are leading.
This is why the NFL hides the playoff tracker until week 15.
Hey, don't blink, but the 49ers have the best record in the NFC.
They're the only undefeated team because they had a bye week 4. The 49ers are a joke,
y'all
Jared.
Laughed at me.
49ers about to go
y'all
3-13.
Their strength of schedule is so they do the strength of schedule based on a scale of 1. So it's like 0.688 is the Saints' strength of schedule. 49ers is 0.25.
Well, it's a great thing that
like Tebow's batting average.
Wow.
You're giving Tebow way too much credit. Holy cow. If Tebow's hitting 250, he might have actually played in the MLB this year. But
to be
they
fair,
have the lowest strength of schedule in the NFL.
But to be fair, strength of schedule doesn't matter in the NFL. This ain't no college football playoffs. As long as you win, you're in.
I'm just telling you, they aren't as good as we think they are.
Oh,
they aren't as good as we think
they're as good as I think they are.
Let's back up. All I said was they would get a first-round bye. I didn't say that they would do anything past that.
To get a first-round bye, what, you have to finish first 2?
Yeah, top 2. Look where they're at right now.
They're not better than the Saints. They're not better than the Packers. They're not better than the Cowboys.
It doesn't matter who they're better than are.
They're not better than the Rams.
As long as they win their schedule, that's it.
They're better than the Eagles, and they aren't better than the Lions.
Do they play any of those teams?
Yeah, I'm going to assume they play probably the Rams in their own division twice.
Yeah, they'll sneak one away.
And then they'll probably play everybody else in here. I mean, they'll drop at least – they'll lose at the Seahawks. they'll, I mean, when you really just look through it, I mean, they're going to lose games.
Let's see. Where are the 49ers at? There they are. First of all, they play the Browns on Monday night. That'll be fun.
And they'll lose that.
So they play the Browns, Rams, Redskins, Panthers, Cardinals, Seahawks, Cardinals, Packers, Ravens, Saints, Falcons, Rams, and Seahawks.
Yikes.
All right, let's look through your team that's going to have to get basically at least 12 wins in order to. So they're going to have to what? Go.
All right, Carter, let me stop you right there. We got to go to break. We will continue this on the other side of the break, okay?
Yeah, you finna catch that word, then, so you had to get out of that.
Mm-hmm. Did you bring that up?
You finna catch that word.
We're going to head to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more of the Extra Point on the other side of the break.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I improved my credit score.
You're kidding, right?
No.
How are we supposed to be the bad boys of electro-synth pop if you're out there being responsible? The band is about to be discovered. This is our year.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while now.
You think anyone in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was worried about their credit score?
I never really thought that.
Of course they weren't. Rock stars aren't supposed to think about that kind of stuff. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, write aggressively sensitive power ballads, start questionable fashion trends, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
All right. I thought maybe it was time to take control of my finances, you know? Start using a budget, get out of debt, set some goals.
A budget? Debt? Set some goals? Listen, I knew that we'd have our creative differences, but I was hoping they'd involve a little more scandal.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cool time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Apparently Carter's about to give it to me while the 49ers are not going to reach the top two of the what's so funny.
Don't worry about it. All right, here we go. 49ers are 3-0 going into their Monday night game versus the Browns. The Browns have righted the ship, figured out who they are, and they're going to go 12 personnel and run it down the 49ers' throat because they've realized that, hey, despite what the national media thinks with OBJ and Jarvis and Baker and Njoku whenever he's healthy, our best player is actually our running back, and let's ride that guy to win. I mean, you're going to watch this team. Teams are going to key on OBJ, just like the Ravens did last week, and it's going to open things up for everybody else. That's why you saw Ricky Seals-Jones ball out and have a huge day. That's why you saw Nick Chubb have a huge day. The Browns are, I think they are like something a little over 17 yards per pass attempt out of 12 personnel. So when they have two tight ends and one running back, and they averaged against the Ravens like 10 yards a rush. I mean, they were gashing them when they would go into their two tight end set, which is where they dominated last year as an offense. And then through the first 3 games this year, got away from it, and now they're back into it. After that game, The 49ers have to go on the road to the Rams. That's really tough. The Rams are really good.
Oh, that game's not tough anymore. The Buccaneers could do it and put up 55. Don't give me that's tough.
All right, the Rams are a really good team. If you want to go ahead and count that as a win, that's absurd.
If the Rams are really good, then what the Buccaneers are? What are the Buccaneers?
The Buccaneers are what the Buccaneers have always been with Jameis. You're going to see him go for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns some weeks, and then you're going to see him go for 103 the next week and 7 interceptions, because that's Jameis Winston in a nutshell. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks probably of the last, 15 years in the NFL, but mentally can't figure it out and has not gotten any better since being in the NFL. And, some days he shows up and he has your number. Other days he shows up and he can't complete passes that are to the players wearing the same jersey as him. They're all to the other team. So, yes, they beat the Rams. The Rams had a bad game. The Rams are still better than the 49ers. After that, yeah, the 49ers are gonna get a win at the Redskins. Nice. Solid. Then they have the Panthers, which, Kyle Allen, man, he wins games. And if Cam's back and truly healthy, then yeah, I think the Panthers will be even better. But I wouldn't chalk that up as an automatic win. They go to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are pretty bad right now. I'll give you that one. Seahawks are good. They're not the old Seahawks teams, but Russell Wilson is a competitor. Russell Wilson carries that team to wins. He carried a team in a rebuilding year last year to the playoffs. And then now you add Clowney to that team, and they lose Doug Baldwin this year. Don't even miss a step, because now you've got Disley, you've got Metcalf, and you've got Lockett that are all elevating their game, and now they really haven't missed a step on offense.
All right, let me go ahead and stop you right there, because we got 2 minutes left. Yeah. Okay. Your point being, the 49ers are not
They're going to lose a lot of games.
They're not going to walk through their schedule.
Shut them down.
The Packers are going to beat them. At the Saints, when Drew Brees is back, are going to beat them. The Rams are going to beat them again. At the Seahawks, are going to beat them.
Let's go. Calm down. Let me start with this.
Let's go.
Just because the Browns beat a depleted Baltimore defense does not mean anything. Yeah. Look, are the Browns good? Yes. Do they have weapons? Yes. But this is the 49ers defense that, by the way, leads the league in turnovers. Don't blink. The 49ers...
They played week 1 Jameis, week 2 Andy Dalton, week 3 Mason Rudolph. Yeah, of course they're going to dominate those teams. Yes. Those teams are bad.
Oh, those teams are bad, but that Buccaneers team that went on the road and beat the Rams.
Don't even give me that. I already gave you my rant on that.
They can turn up and be good whenever they want to.
Jameis is the most volatile player in the NFL, on and off the field, besides maybe Antonio Brown.
All you said was the Buccaneers can be good when it fits my narrative. That's what you said. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
The Buccaneers are a bad team. They'll go 6-10 this year. Congrats. Awesome.
It's better than Dolphins. So.
Just because the Browns beat a depleted, just because the Browns beat a depleted Ravens defense, they gave up 500 yards to Kansas City.
Jameis threw 2 pick sixes in week 1.
I'm talking about the Browns right now.
That's 12 points.
Talk about the Browns and Ravens, not the Buccaneers anymore. I need you to move on to the next point. Just because the Browns depleted a Ravens defense that gave up 500 yards to the Kansas City Chiefs,
I don't think it matters
500 yards to the Browns, does not mean the Browns are here. They will have a struggle against the 49ers on Monday Night Football.
It'll be a good game, but I think the Browns are better right now.
The 49ers can go on the road and they can get the Rams, especially the Rams defense that is faltering right now.
They can. I don't think they will.
They will beat the Redskins. The Panthers are a little bit iffy.
They'll beat the Redskins.
It will depend on who's at quarterback for the Panthers. Kyle Allen has done an amazing job. Kyle Allen's done a great job. I don't think anybody's giving him a lot of credit for what he's done.
Just keeping the team alive has been huge.
Yes, but we'll see what they do. The Panthers still are struggling to score touchdowns with Kyle Allen at quarterback, so we'll see how they will match up with the 49ers, especially that game being in California. Go on the road against the Cardinals, that'll be a dub. Seahawks, they got to play them twice. I think they can take one from the Seahawks, especially that first game being at home. The Seahawks do have their days where they can't click on all cylinders. Obviously, Cardinals, again, they can beat the Cardinals. Packers, it depends on how good you think the Packers are. Packers, Ravens,
are really good.
Packers, Ravens, and Saints can be tough games. At the Ravens, it depends on if the Ravens have found their groove by that point.
That right there could be a 3-game losing streak where the season unravels for San Francisco.
And then you got to play the Falcons, which I think that'll be easy dub with the way the Falcons are trending. And then you have the Rams and the Seahawks to end the season. I think it's a 49ers team that can easily win 10 to 12 games. And depending on how the NFC goes, they can easily get to 13 or 14 games.
10 games doesn't get you a first-round bye.
Like I said, it's a 49ers team that can easily win 10 games. And depending on how the NFC goes, it can easily win 13 to 14 games. Don't make me repeat myself.
There's too many potential losses on the schedule.
Oh, this is a good thing that the potential losses and the actual losses, because we don't count potential losses in the NFL, Carter. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. That's all I'm saying. But right now, no matter what we may argue, one thing is for certain. The 49ers currently right now lead the NFC at 3-0.
You're right.
And they play the Browns Monday night. That's the only facts we got. And that's the only facts we can go with. Thank you for joining me on this first segment of The Extra Point. Devin, I hope you had a fun time.
Yeah, man, better than my personal life. But, hey, we in this thing, though. Let's go.
Are you okay?
That was unbelievable. That was awesome.
Okay. Not going through that. The GOAT said we ain't doing it today.
All right. Well,
I'll come back with an update on Tuesday.
Okay. Fair enough. With that being said, I really hope your mom's not listening right now because this is not going to go over well. With that being said, we're going to head to our top of the hour break. And when we come back, it'll be Jack and Carter joining me for the second hour of The Extra Point. You're watching, listening to Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 FM and Eagle Eye TV.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A covenant that split the skies over Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended Quezon. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. A promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Sharing has never meant as much as it does now. We share the things we love most in life for the world to see. But what if we could actually do more with our sharing than just collect likes? What if this sharing could be used to make a difference? Now there's a place where we can put all that sharing to good use. The National MS Society is asking people to make a difference and share what they love with someone else who loves it too. Whether it's surfing, dancing, or whatever is important to you, we've created a place that'll help you get your experience out to the world. If you have a story, share it. If you have a solution, share that too. Join us at wearestrongerthanms.org, because together, we are stronger.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will you listen to? Jeffrey.
Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would visit brainhealth.gov.
The following is the production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone! It's a home run! It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams!
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series!
where every
Did the Auburn Tigers walk off with a 12-4 victory?
game
There goes Davis! Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back!
lives.
Danger, I don't fit in on a stranger. Believer, I can take out all the evil.
And welcome into the second hour of the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello, everybody. Joining me in the studio is Carter Bird and Jack Hart as we continue our discussion. And in a second, we'll be getting into our college football pick'em. So first things first, get into a little bit of college football news before we get into all that shenanigans. From college football news, first, I want to bring up the news story from yesterday out of LSU. I thought of the meme for a second. I thought it was one of those fake Onion articles, but it wasn't. Leonard Fournette has a brother named Leonard Fournette.
Do you not know that?
I feel like I did know that, but then he disappeared, almost literally from the team. Because he doesn't play at all.
Yeah.
And then it kind of popped back up, and it took me a second. Ow. It took me a second. Yeah. So, no, I'm sorry. I hiccuped.
I heard.
Yeah. That's going to come through on the recording, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, God. Yeah, no. Yeah, so he left the program. I don't know where he's going, if he is going anywhere. Because he's a senior or grad transfer or something like that. So not really sure where he's going.
He's gonna come play running back behind Booby next year. At
Okay,
Auburn.
there's Auburn has 6 running backs that I swear. Look, you know that every Saturday they make that wake up is game day video. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about on Twitter for Auburn football.
No, I've not seen this video that you're talking
about. Have you seen it, Jack?
I don't follow Auburn Athletics on Twitter.
Okay, so nobody's seen this video other than me, I guess. But every Saturday they make this good morning or wake up, it's game day video, right? And they got these. It's pretty much it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of stupid at the same time. They have these two players. One is you can't tell who they are either. They're probably just some random guys that they pull that look like football players. You got one fake Auburn player who's number 1. It's like Joey Gatewood. And there's another one, he's number 9, and he's short. So it's like Cam Martin. And I swear to you, I see fake Cam Martin more in that video than I see actual Cam Martin on the field. And it's kind of sad, actually.
I mean, Cam Martin plays the third most of the running backs.
Behind Boobie and...
Shivers.
Yeah. Well, Sean Shivers has come on a lot in the last couple of weeks, which is good.
Sean Shivers seems to be immune to Gus Malzahn punishing the typical Gus Malzahn that punishes running backs for fumbling.
You know who's not immune from Gus Malzahn? Matthew Hill. Still haven't seen him since he got ejected against A&M. I'm
telling you, I'm not sure if I said it on here. That was a pass play where Matthew Hill was going to throw the ball. If you watch him, his receiver's gloves are off and they're tucked into his pants. Apparently, we were going to see that man throw the ball on a reverse, a speed sweep, and he was going to post up and throw it. Well, that would have been something.
We won't see that until Georgia week now, I guess. As Gus Malzahn going to put that into the back page of his playbook. Some other news. Tennessee AD Philip Fulmer says right now that he's ruling out a return as head coach. I say right now because I feel like I don't know where else Tennessee can turn to. I mean, I'd be the head coach of Tennessee.
Would you though? Would you though?
Yeah, to get away from you, yes. Actually, Carter, if I become head coach of Tennessee, do you want to be on my team?
On the team or on your staff?
Yes.
I will come be on your staff, sure.
What position do you want?
Give me OC and let's just have a heck of a time.
Jack, what position do you want?
Why do you assume I want to be on your team?
What? Don't you want to be on my staff at Tennessee?
I do not. I don't even want to be on your staff here, Jerry.
But yet, you are his second in command. So,
well, Jack, you're coming anyway, and you'll just be assistant to the head coach.
Great. Deputy head coach.
Yeah, which is pretty much what you do now. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee, obviously, they're a dumpster fire. And obviously, it's going to get a lot worse when Georgia comes and burns down Neyland on Saturday. But, I mean, where does Tennessee turn?
Tennessee's had a bad season, and then it wasn't helped by the fact with the after TMZ Sports got a hold of Jeremy Banks' arrest video where he's literally just cussing out cops the whole time and coming as close as you can to threatening cops without actually threatening them. It was just a bad look. And then, of course, they released the transcript of good old Jeremy Pruitt on the phone with the Knoxville police, and that was a bad look too. Basically saying that everywhere he's been, his players, when they've had a warrant out for their arrest, they've never really been arrested, and there've been ways to get around the actual arrest part of it. It was a bad look for Tennessee, and it wasn't even a bad look on the field this week. Although that could very easily come later, as they are going to get absolutely shelled by Georgia this weekend. And their 1-3 start is about to be 1-4.
Yeah, there will be no prisoners taken at home, as Georgia's going to come in and pretty much have practice against Tennessee.
Will Tennessee ever be?
Remember when 2 years ago when Tennessee was excited about the Georgia-Tennessee game and they still lost 40-7? I mean, imagine what it's going to be this year.
It's at least they get it at home.
I think that makes it worse, man.
Also, Also, United States Representative Anthony Gonzalez, who is a former Ohio State football player, proposed a new national law to allow college athletes to receive compensation for their likeness. So we talk about all these individual states doing it. Well, there's one congressman in Congress who says, you know what, there should be a federal law about it. So it's been expedited. Now, I don't know if he'll get any backers on it. I don't know if it's something that's going to even get pushed through this year or next year, but it's being talked about. And if it gains traction in Congress, oh boy. I mean, we're setting up for a big showdown between the NCAA, certain states, and I guess United States Congress. And every time the United States Congress gets involved in something, it's bound to go bad. It's your political rant for the day.
Yeah, I find this whole thing interesting because supposedly by what my understanding about the California bill is that it's basically going to give the NCAA an out because players will be paid, but they don't have to be the ones to pay them. So, like, they still make the money off everything that they would make money off right now. It's boosters and sponsors and stuff that can end up paying the players.
Yeah, like,
and so, like, I don't understand what the
NCAA's
outrage is.
Yeah, control.
Yeah, but I mean, this was coming at some point, and this is the best way for them to go.
If you let this go, what else are you going to have to end up letting go down the road, right? It's control. NCAA wants control. And from their perspective, I understand it. Because once you start losing control, right, there's a lot more that you could lose.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, look on the bright side. If the NCAA does double down and they say, yeah, we're going to kick you out, well, the new Weagle Athletic Conference will be growing and brimming with teams.
Didn't we decide that we were going to make that into just a baseball super conference?
Yes, and on top of that, I know we need money to fund this. So what I'm going to do is we're all going to put together a pool, and we're going to bet on the Hornets to win the NBA Finals. It's 100,000 to 1 odds. So if we put in some money, and Michael Jordan, we get with him, and he turns this thing around.
Hey, I'm more of a fan of not throwing away money. I think that'll be probably a better idea. So I'm out.
Okay, well,
much like Mark Cuban on Shark Tank, I'm out.
Well, not only will you not be part of the Weagle Athletic Conference, but you're now fired as my offensive coordinator at Tennessee.
Oh, dang. If only we were actually going to make it a season.
Hey, look, I'm going to get a staff together for when this thing happens. When I submit my resume and they see, man, this guy is cool, and they hire me, y'all thought I was playing.
Would they hire you over Greg Schiano after that mess last year?
I mean, the students don't write about me or paint on rocks.
They might.
They don't even know anything about me other than when I make fun of them a lot. With all that being said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to get into our pick'em. We'll give you updated standings and, into our pick'em for the week. You're watching Let's Use Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit twomin2x.org. That's twomin2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Unexpected.
Welcome back to the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello, everybody. Jared Dillard joined by Carter Bird and Jack Hart as we get into our pick'em for the week. Jack, I want you to take it away. Give us the updated standings between the Extra Point and the Plainsmen.
Well, things got a little more interesting in the square off between the Extra Point and the Plainsmen.
Yeah, I don't know how we did last week.
The Plainsmen has regained the lead.
It's all your fault, Carter.
It's my fault, really, after I had a upsetting 4-6 weekend.
How did Jared and I go?
All right.
In the Plainsmen Pick'em only, how did we go?
In the Plainsmen Pick'em only, Jared, you went 4-2, getting the Kentucky and Baylor games wrong. Carter, you got the Baylor game right, but you and I both picked Maryland, and we know how that went. We all picked Kentucky. I picked Purdue, which was a close game, so I won't fault myself too much on that one. And I also picked Iowa State. So
wait, so what did I go?
You went 4-2 as well.
Okay, so
and Jack,
what do you?
I went 2-4.
What about in the overall? How did we go?
In the overall, we are now. Combined between the four of us, we lost that's 10 of the 60 games. So
wait, so
I'm sorry,
I just
24.
I just want to know what did I go in the overall after going 4-2 in the first?
Oh, well, you also picked Cal and NC State, which were both losers, but you picked Notre Dame, Auburn, and Utah to win. So those are all winners. So overall, you went 6-4.
What about me?
You went 5-5 because you picked Washington State, and we know how that went.
So dumb, slow players.
Overall, Eagle is 60-30. The Plainsman is 61-29.
So I'm still winning the overall, correct?
You are 34-16. Jared is 33-17. Aiden is 35-15, and I'm 29-21. So you're one game behind Aiden, one game ahead of Jared, and
I don't count Aiden
in the back.
Oh, with all that being said, let's get into the pick'em for this week. Jack, take it away.
Let's go ahead and start with the games we are not sharing with the Plainsmen this weekend. So we'll head to the Big 12 to start out with Oklahoma State taking on Texas Tech.
Carter, you'll go first, followed by me, and then Jack will round up at the end.
You know, I've got to go with the offense that has the leading rusher in college football and the leading receiver. I've got to go with Oklahoma State. Tylan Wallace and Chuba Hubbard. I think they're just too much for Texas Tech. Texas Tech also kind of got themselves dominated by OU. So, and I think Oklahoma State's better. Oklahoma State.
Well, I'm going to go to the team that did not lose to Arizona. I think that's a pretty good bar. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma State wins this one by a lot. I think their offense is explosive, and I think Texas Tech just doesn't have the horses, forgive the pun, to keep up with the Cowboys in this matchup.
All right, so we're all going to Oklahoma State. Honestly, I had to throw a game on there. It was a ranked matchup. Oklahoma State is at least on the road, but it is a 10-point spread. So that was the gimme. So everybody doesn't go 0-10. Okay, that was your gimme game.
Okay, well that's gonna be awesome when Texas Tech finds a way to win.
What's up next?
Another Big 12 clash as the disappointing Iowa State Cyclones face off against the equally disappointing TCU Horned Frogs.
Give me Iowa State all day. Iowa State outplayed Baylor after digging themselves a big hole. I think they're better than TCU, and they're the home team here. I love Iowa State in this one.
Man, after Iowa State's disappointed me this whole season already, Baylor looks good, but Iowa State has disappointed me. And TCU, I know they have the loss to SMU. They shouldn't have lost, but they've definitely have fallen off the rock as well. But there's one thing: you don't walk in Ames, Iowa, and then you can win yourself a football game. So I'll go Iowa State. Ames, Iowa, college football's black hole.
So just a reflection on the last time Jared said that. Somebody walked into Ames, Iowa, and won themselves a football game.
Okay, but I also picked Iowa that week, so it doesn't matter.
So after TCU buried Kansas, I think they looked pretty good there, but it was Kansas. So I think I completely agree with Carter. I think Iowa State outplayed the heck out of Baylor last weekend and probably deserved to win that game.
Both teams look pretty good, actually.
If they hadn't
one's 2-2.
Gotten down 3 scores to start out with. But yeah, I think
with
this
two
is
good losses,
a huge bounce back game for Iowa State here.
That means college football playoff is on their way.
Attack of the Clones, lock it in.
All right, what's up next?
Oh, this is a fun one, guys. Carter's favorite, the Northwestern Wildcats versus the Huskers of Nebraska after getting embarrassed in college football game day last weekend.
I think this game's going to be closer than people realize.
Oh, no. Last time you said that, it didn't end well.
Well, I think both these offenses are pretty bad. Nebraska can't throw the football. Northwestern figured out that their former 5-star quarterback is actually a bunch. He's as useful as this trash can right here. And I'm going to go with Nebraska in a field goal game.
Absolutely.
I'm taking Nebraska, but I don't feel good about it because Northwestern, they played Wisconsin close, so they understand.
It's gonna be a low scoring.
I think
game.
Wisconsin was playing down to their
You
competition
think so?
last week. I think Wisconsin's a lot better than they played in the Northwestern game.
They wore khakis.
Yeah, they had some spiffy uniforms. There was something going on. For a second, I turned on the Wisconsin game. I didn't think they were wearing pants for a second. I didn't know what was going on.
My favorite tweet was, the best way to troll Harbaugh is to dominate him one week and then wear khakis the following week.
So
amazing.
I'm going to pick Nebraska, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a field goal game. This is going to be shades of that Nebraska-Michigan State game from 2 years ago in the snow where I think it was 9-6. I mean, this game's going to be ugly, boring to watch. Big Ten classic. Big Red in this one.
I'm giving them a little more credit. I think it's going to be 20-17.
But still equally bad.
Yes.
All right, Jack, what's up next? 3 down. Let's go 2 more before we head to our next break.
Let's stay in the Big Ten. Let's stay with Harbaugh, and let's talk about his Wolverines, who are teetering on the brink of collapse, facing off against the Hawkeyes of Iowa.
Now, before any of us pick this game, I want to point out Michigan is a 3.5-point favorite. They are at home, so think of it more as 1.5, giving that little bit of a push to the home team. Which I still, even though it's even, I still find it very astonishing that Iowa is not favored in this game. I know it's on the road. I know it's Michigan. But I thought that people weren't very high on Michigan anymore. Apparently they're high enough to have a 3.5-point line at home. I guess. Well, that means much. But Carter, you're up first. This is a hard game. I'm not going to lie.
Definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. We're going with Michigan. I think they've somewhat. I can't even sell myself on that they've actually found themselves, but I'm going with Michigan.
I can't in good conscience pick Michigan. I just can't. I just can't. Even if I lose, even if Michigan wins by 40, I'll still feel good about picking Iowa. So give me the Hawkeyes. Michigan's an enigma.
Yeah, this is definitely a must-win game if you're Michigan, if you want to have a salvageable season and a good conference record, which is absolutely why they will lose this game to Iowa. So give me the Hawkeyes.
All right, and one more game, Jack. Throw it on us.
Oh, little Pac-12. Don't know if this one's after dark yet, but definitely getting up there. It is the Wildcats of Arizona taking on the Buffs of UC Boulder.
It'll be 3:30 Central. So
1:30 their time. So definitely not after dark.
Up, yeah.
Sun's still pretty much in the middle of the sky. Am I leading off right here?
Yeah.
I'm going Colorado all day. I don't trust Kevin Sumlin at all. I don't understand what he has turned Khalil Tate into. Colorado should be 4-0 right now. Colorado's a decent team. Should be a team that's up there in the discussion for a better Pac-12 team. But the fact that they dropped one to I forget who they dropped it to. Yeah, they should have won that game.
Air Force in overtime.
Yeah. Give me Colorado, though, for sure. At home, especially.
I like the Buffs, especially because they played well. And don't blink, but Colorado has 2 top 25 wins.
Don't you? Is Nebraska one of them? Yeah. No, that doesn't count.
Over number 25 Nebraska and number 24 Arizona State.
Take that away.
Both games ended 34-31
in overtime.
Nebraska was overtime, and Arizona State was in regulation. I think the big thing is that Colorado's playing at home. They had a bye week, so they're pretty fresh right now. And Arizona's coming off a home game against UCLA, where they won 20-17, and now they got to go on the road, and it's Kevin Sumlin, and it's a conference game. Yeah, no dice. Give me Colorado.
I mean, yeah, it's just been one of those years for Colorado. I think Arizona they're going to get them, but they're not going to win. This is going to be like a sneaky game. Arizona's going to get a fluky touchdown here or there. I mean, it's just been one of those seasons, maybe overtime in this game. I'd love to see it, but Colorado comes out with a win at the end.
All right, that's 5 games down. If you think about it in a weird way, and not in a weird way, but an actual factual way, Colorado has the same number of top 25 wins as Auburn. Am I wrong?
Not even comparable. Not even comparable.
All I'm saying is Colorado, college football playoff, we can make it happen. That being said.
No, hang on. You can't make the college football playoff out of the Pac-12, the weak Pac-12, with a loss to Air Force.
Hey. Jack's already walked out. Jack's already walked out. So we need to go to break. You're watching Let's Do Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Live TV.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Burn the whole house down. Welcome back to the Extra Point here on WGL 911 and Eagle Eye TV, joined by Carter Bird and Jack Hart. I'm Jared Dillard. Let's get back into our pick'em. Jack, what is the next game up?
Oh, this is a fun one. Let's head to the American Conference, which
Love
had
it.
no shortage of exciting games as UCF takes on Cincinnati.
All right.
Did UCF stumble again?
So
that game day bus.
There was the viral tweet this week that Cincinnati had painted their field at Nippert Stadium black for this game.
First of all, I'm pretty sure that's an NCAA violation somehow.
They'll take the timeout penalty.
And then it came out yesterday night that it was a lie. It was just
who wrote this? Wait, when did the rumor start?
At the beginning of the week.
And then it came out
last
night?
They put out a tweet that was like, we heard all your suggestions and we decided to paint the field, and it was like a black stadium. One end zone was white, one end zone was red. They had the skyline of Cincinnati in the background and then the eyes of a bearcat at midfield.
So wait, between Monday when the rumor came out and then Wednesday yesterday, nobody just walked past the field and just looked at it? And I was like, is this real? It took them 48 hours to be like...
The investigative journalism moves very slow in Cincinnati.
We've investigated ourselves and found no clues.
Had they actually painted the field black, Nippert Stadium on Friday night was going to be unbelievably loud, and the atmosphere was going to be electric to the nth degree. Now,
wait. So the only reason why Cincinnati's not about to win is because
you
the
found
field
out
is
their
not
fraudulent field paint.
I think it affects the atmosphere in this game. I think it does. I actually do. I think if they had painted the field black, the student body would have shown up and been unbelievably loud. And I think this is a disappointing move by Cincinnati. And it's going to hurt them on the field. I'm taking UCF now.
Disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Come on, Cincinnati.
I think the big thing for Cincinnati is that they have a kind of a good defense.
I literally, if you look at my picks, I had Cincinnati picked, and then I looked up the stadium again, and they said it wasn't happening, and I've switched.
So this game's tomorrow, by the way.
This game's tomorrow, by the way.
This is a 7 p.m. kick.
That I will be watching. It'll be a nice little Friday.
Over-under is 60.
It's going to be a lot of points scored. And by a lot, I mean relatively.
At least 30.5 by every team.
You take out Cincinnati's 42-0 loss against number 5 Ohio State, and they've had a decent year. I think the big things are passing defense. They're averaging only 167 yards passing allowed. And they've played Marshall, Miami of Ohio, and UCLA. So it's not much.
Yeah,
but it's a home game. I still think, even though the field is not black, that the crowd would be raucous for a top 15 or top 18 UCF to walk in. So, you know what? I'm doing it again. Give me Cincinnati over UCF at home.
Ooh, this one is interesting because UCF's playoff ambitions have once again been dashed, as we all saw in Pittsburgh. But the thing about this one is, while they don't have as much to play for, I mean, they're still playing for an American Conference championship, or they like to think they are. So I really while the motivation is diminished, I think it's still there for UCF. So green grass or black grass, I think the Knights are going to come in and quiet the crowd in Nippert Stadium tomorrow night. So I'll take the Knights on the road.
Jack, I can confirm that Central Florida is indeed still playing for an AAC championship after their only losses to an ACC team.
Listen, I've been thinking Big East ever since I saw Cincinnati. You need to tell me they're not in the conference with Syracuse anymore?
All right, who's next, Jack?
Speaking of Pittsburgh, oh god, Pittsburgh versus Duke, the ACC clash. We've all been waiting for.
Oh boy, Pitt's on the pick 'em again, and oh boy,
it's not even our fault this time.
I'm picking. I'm definitely.
I don't know what to tell you.
Definitely picking against Pitt again. David Cutcliffe and Duke. Duke went to Virginia Tech last week as like a 2-point dog and dominated.
I think a lot of people didn't know about that. Was that game on Friday?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people didn't realize
which game?
The Duke Virginia Tech game that I wanted to put on the pickup, but
Yeah.
no, we had to put another game on there.
I had Duke by a million in that game, and then they went on to win by a million.
Yeah, I
So,
think Duke is a sneaky team in the ACC, as they always are. It's just they're not picking up a lot of traction.
they were
after that.
a 2-point dog and went on the road and won by 35.
After that
Duke is going to beat Pitt.
Alabama situation.
They're better coached. David Cutcliffe.
What does Pitt have, Jared?
Well, as everybody may know, I famously picked Pitt to beat UCF.
Infamously.
And then I went on to say,
Didn't you pick him to beat Penn State too?
I'm not sure actually, to be quite honest. I said it would be close, and it was close. And then the next week
we all picked Penn State.
Yeah, we all picked Penn State. See, I'm not that crazy. And then the next week, I did say that Pitt could possibly run the table for the rest of the season. I did say that. I did say that. But with all that being said,
it's kind of like
even another
the 49ers are going to get a first-round bye when we look at this in 3 weeks and they have 2 more losses.
Wait a second.
Wait, what? Wait.
So
that doesn't play here.
So my Georgia Tech hat that I just put on, I don't have a Duke hat, but I got the Georgia Tech hat at a Georgia Tech basketball game. So I'm picking Duke, but it's all I had of Duke. I know it doesn't make sense a lot, okay?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
That's worse than just not wearing a hat.
At the very least, you could have been like, oh, they have the same colors as Pitt. I'm picking Pitt.
Hey.
But no, you went with the literal least connection possible.
Hey, go Georgia Tech. Go Jackets.
The dumbest. One of the worst teams in the country. About to get dominated by UNC.
I think what should surprise you that I've been to a Georgia Tech Duke game before I mentioned an Auburn basketball game.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You haven't been to an Auburn basketball game?
Nope. How can I when I'm doing other things that relate to Auburn
When you're
basketball?
controlling the clock in the arena?
Oh my gosh, here we go.
You do control the basketball clock, right? That's your job?
No.
Okay. I'll
That's not
pick
what I heard.
Duke by 3 scores? 3 scores. Duke wins.
Oh, I love it.
Duke wins.
By the
I
way,
love
if it got lost in translation, I did pick Duke.
Okay. Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, it did.
You've been entered into the record.
All right, Jack, what's next?
Take your hat off.
Baylor Bears, after embarrassing Iowa State last weekend, are playing. It was embarrassing for me because I picked Iowa State. Embarrassing Iowa State. They play Kansas State, another Big 12 team that has had a very up and down season. So, what do we make of this one?
This line has moved heavy in K-State's favor. Give me K-State all day. K-State's bouncing back after a tough loss last week. Baylor snuck away with a big win, and they're going to drop this one when they go to the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. One of the toughest places to play when you go west in this country. In the Big 12, a lot of people think it's the toughest atmosphere.
For me, this is a toss-up, really. Kansas State is at home, but I think Baylor has come to play. I think they beat a good Iowa State team. Now, Oklahoma State on the road, Kansas struggled, but, they at least put up a decent fight. They didn't roll over. but give me the Baylor Bears to go not only on the road and win, but to be 5-0 and 2-0 in conference play. Watch out for Baylor.
Goodness. Yeah, Baylor beat a team that I picked, which makes me think they're good, so I'll pick Baylor.
I mean, that's sound logic, I guess.
I think Baylor has surprised me. Baylor was really under the radar for me. I kind of forgot they had a football team since the whole NCAA violation situation.
Hey, I'm writing a paper on that.
So, I like the Bears having a good season. A bounce back, good conference win here. I think they'll continue their undefeated ways until they run into a real opponent.
There's one more game on the pick'em before the big orange and blue showdown that's happening in Gainesville. Jack, what game is that?
That game is one of the stranger matchups this weekend. It is overtime versus Michigan participant Army and Houston comeback winner Tulane squaring off for some reason or another.
So Tulane is traveling to
West Point? Question mark?
No, it's right here. West Point, New York.
Very good.
And playing in Michie Stadium?
Absolutely.
Sounds about right. So Tulane, 3-1 and 3-1. This game's at 11 o'clock, by the way.
Sad.
Yeah, so it could be a fun one. It could be a fun, under-the-radar kind of game. Tulane is favored by 2.5.
11 a.m. does not phase the cadets.
That's what I was going to say. I think they prefer those morning games. They've been up for 7 hours already.
The fan base is going to be there. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Get themselves a nice flyover before the game. Run that triple option. As they said in the Navy broadcast last weekend, it's like Novocaine. You just keep running it. It may take some time. It always works. Give me Army.
Okay, after that, I don't know where you were going with that, but Tulane, Tulane,
Remember the Titans quote?
I haven't watched Remember Titans in a long time. Tulane,
that's your fault,
is also former SEC Power Tulane. And while 11 a.m. may not worry the cadets at Army, a green wave is dangerous at any time of the day. The green wave will crash into New York.
One that hangs out on Bourbon Street the week leading up.
Well, that's just a drunk and dangerous green wave. With that being said, Tulane will crash into New York, and they will get the big dub. And I'm telling you, I think Tulane could be a sneaky dark horse when it comes to New Year's Six games. I think they can be a representative for the New Year's Six. Yeah. If UCF falls off the rock, right, and Tulane currently has one vote in the AP poll. Tulane currently has one vote in the AP poll. And if you're asking, it would be me voting, but I'm not an AP voter. There's somebody believes in Tulane. I think they can slowly make their way up there.
Yeah, UCF might fall off, but Memphis.
Boise, Memphis, any other team.
I'm just saying Memphis. In their own conference, Memphis.
Jack, who do you have?
Absolutely. I think, really hope Chris isn't listening in the next room, but I'll take Tulane in this one. I really like what Tulane has put together. I think the defense is going to be the big factor in this one. I think this will be low-scoring, grinded-out football. I think that gives the edge to Tulane, who will have the scoring ability that Army does not.
Well, that all being said, we're heading to a quick commercial break. 9 games down, 1 more to go. It's Auburn and Florida. On the other side of the break, you're watching and listening to Extra Point here on WEG on 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Gain practical experience with emerging technology and equipment not found in the civilian world. The Army National Guard can get you started in an array of STEM-related career fields such as information technology, communication systems, special forces engineers, technical engineering, air traffic control, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear science. Get a head start on your career in an exciting new field while earning money to pay for college, all while serving in your own community. Log on to NationalGuard.com or talk to a recruiter in your area to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Want to help pull the plug on cyber terrorists? Or get the skills to work with satellites and other space technology? How about learning the avionics inside stealth fighters? And do you want to reach your goals fast? You can do it and take your life to the next level in the Air National Guard. Because you serve part-time, you do it in a way that works for you. You can achieve your career and educational goals with plenty of time for family and friends. The Air Guard offers nearly 200 career specialties, so you'll get the high-tech skills you need to kick your career into high gear. You can also be eligible for college tuition assistance. The best part is, in the Air Guard, you'll be making a real difference by serving your community and country. So get your future off the ground in the Air National Guard. Call the Alabama Air National Guard at 1-800-TOGO-ANG or visit goang.com/AL.
Welcome back inside the Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello, everybody. Jared Dillard, joined by Carter Bird and Jack Hart. As we got about 10 minutes to go, final game in the Pick'em. It's game day. They turned the bus around to get down to Florida, I guess.
I guess theoretically, yes, they have to turn the bus around at some point every week.
they had to turn the bus around, and they eventually got to Gainesville, and that's where they'll be at on Saturday. Jack will be in attendance. Already got your game day sign ready to go. Carter, you'll be down in Florida. I don't know if you'll be at game day.
Yeah, I'm not going to game day.
Not going to game day. I'll be at home.
You've been to one game day. You've been to all game days.
That's true. I was at 2017.
I was too.
Yeah.
I was on the front row.
That means Jack out there like 2 a.m.
Listen, I don't want to talk about it.
So Auburn, Florida, it's a top 10 matchup in the SEC, and we'll get into that right now. Pick through 9 games. This is the biggest one. Obviously, it's the biggest game of the year for Auburn. It's a top 10 matchup. I know Oregon was important. I know A&M was important. But Gainesville, on the road, SEC play, this is important, especially when it kicks off your pretty much I'm not going to be at home for a whole month thing that Auburn football has going on.
It's huge if you want to stay alive in the West, too, because one conference loss can do you in. Will do you in.
And Auburn already has 3 other SEC teams they need to watch out for. Out of the 4 games that Auburn's going to play, that's LSU, Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, this is the easiest one. So they got to win it.
Hey, don't say that.
I guess in theory, this game means more to Florida than it does Auburn.
Yes, because Florida is an underdog at home.
Florida's an underdog
and it's homecoming.
at home.
It's homecoming. Don't forget.
Florida's got to have this win because not only do they play Auburn this week, they turn around and go to LSU next week. Then they have Georgia 2 weeks after that.
By the time they face Georgia, they could be well out of the race for the East.
Now, Auburn can lose this game, and everything's still in front of them. But I like this game. Florida, it's going to be such an interesting matchup because it's going to be a very good defense Auburn faces, very athletic plays, very aggressive, very free. And I'll be interested to see how Bo Nix handles that. He has not thrown a pick since the first half against Oregon.
That's good.
And if he can protect the football, Auburn's going to be in a good place. I think Auburn can run the ball on Florida because Florida's D-line, their front is smaller than Texas A&M. I think Auburn's got the advantage with the O-line as far as the running game. Passing game, they've got to protect Bo Nix. Florida's going to come after him. They're going to pin their ears back and really get after Bo. If Auburn can get the ball out quick, take advantage of the speed and the skill that they have on the edge, I like Auburn's chances. Florida offensively, Yes, they have speed and athleticism on the edge at receiver.
SEC speed.
But they cannot run the ball. LaMichael Pirine is not a good running back. And their O-line is very soft, especially up the middle where Auburn's the best, where Auburn's strongest.
It also doesn't help that Townsend had, 3 sacks in the first half against Florida? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Florida got off to a slow start against
Townsend. It was only 17-0 at half.
Yeah.
And if you look at who's Florida played, right?
Florida has not been tested.
Miami, 24-20.
Yikes.
UT Martin, 45-0. Kentucky, 29-21.
And that's against Kentucky's backup quarterback.
Yeah, and that was their most contested game, I would say.
That was a game Kentucky seemingly tried to lose.
Tennessee, 34-3. And then
7
Townsend,
turnovers.
38-0.
So everybody wants to talk about this Florida pass rush. This Florida pass rush has 24 sacks on the season. 10 of those came against Miami, with a quarterback making his first start, a center making his first start, a right guard making his first start, and 2 tackles making their first start. One of them was a true freshman. That O-line for Miami was atrocious. Might be the worst pair of tackles in America.
This also same Miami team almost lost to Central Michigan at home.
Yes.
So,
and then if you look elsewhere on the schedule, they have 9 sacks against 2 FCS teams. So 19 of their 24 sacks have come against really bad offensive lines or skill levels severely below them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a little bit of an overblown stat. I think they have a better pass rush than Auburn's seen. They are more athletic on defense. Now, where I think Auburn's going to make their hay in this game is pressure up the middle, make Trask, who's not mobile, make him move off his spot and have to deliver passes under duress, because he has not seen that either. They also don't trust him to throw the ball down the field. He is 13th in the conference in 25-yard completions. If you look at the rankings, it's Tua with 18 at number 1, Burrow with 17 as number 2, Bo Nix is number 3 with 14.
And if you're doing math at home, remember there's only 14 SEC teams.
Yes. Jake Fromm is 9 with 7. Trask is 13th with 4. I don't think they trust him to go down the field. I expect Auburn to walk their DBs up, challenge these Florida receivers, take away the perimeter, tackle well in the open field, and then Florida's not going to score very many points.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with all that being said, Carter, great job breaking down the game. Who do you have?
Oh, and before you pick the score, I'd love to point out that Jared has been the score champion for the past 3 weeks because Auburn has grossly overperformed in scoring, and Jared's always had the highest score. So by default, Jared has won. Jared had 56 combined points last week. Auburn and Mississippi State combined for 80. So choose wisely.
Thank you.
I'm taking Auburn.
By the way, before you already take your pick, but I want to say Auburn is 5-0 against the spread, while Florida is 2-3.
You put that away.
So I just want to point that out.
There's a reason why this game opened as a pick'em, and within 15 minutes, Auburn was a 2.5-point favorite. That's because people know Auburn's a better team, and Florida's overrated.
Yes, and it is now 3. If it had changed, it is currently right now 3 points in favor of Auburn.
Auburn's going to win this game. It's not going to be pretty. Bo Nix might throw an interception. There might be a fumble in there too. But Auburn's going to win this game 27-17.
Yeah, what was the score? You said 27-17?
Yes.
Okay. No, I was just making sure.
You just checked out, dude.
Let me look at my quarterback wristband. I'm picking Auburn in this game. And the reason why I'm going to pick Auburn is because I do believe the offense will come alive. I do think that Florida will not be able to handle the Auburn running offense. And I do think that Bo Nix, we're going to see a kind of a repeat of last week.
Florida's defense is getting healthy, and they get their star defensive back.
They are getting healthy. And I think that Florida is going to think that they could rush at Bo Nix and affect him. I think that we're probably going to see, and Auburn already does it like once per drive anyway, on their first drive. They're going to chuck it deep. They're going to just try to get Florida off guard. And
Florida doesn't have anybody with the speed that can run with Schwartz. And that ability to stretch the field changes the entire offense. It loosens things up for Seth, as we saw last week, 8 for 161 and 2 touchdowns.
So I think you're going to see Auburn take a good number of shots against Florida, against a Florida defense that A, yeah, is healthy, but B, they think they already know how to play Auburn. But Auburn's like, oh no, I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve. So I'm going to take Auburn, and I'm going to say Auburn's going to score a good amount of points. I want to say Auburn is going to win about 38-14.
As long as Bo can see the blitzes coming and throw into the blitzes where space is vacated, I like Auburn.
Jack?
I think that the biggest factor in this game, as Carter has pointed out, is the fact that Auburn has been tested and Florida has not. I think we'll see that come out in the way this one plays out. I think another thing to consider is how Auburn is going to be taking away all of the things that makes Florida great or looks great on a stat sheet. I mean, yes, that pass rush is there, but Auburn's a team where their offense is built in such a way that takes away the pass rush with these reverses, with the tricky O-line freezes, with all this stuff that makes the pass rush less and less of a factor the more the offense permutates and changes throughout the game. So I think they'll take away that. They'll take away the running game. Auburn's already great at rush defense, but when Florida's rush offense is a no-show, I think the DBs will be able to focus on their assignments in zone and be able to absolutely shut down the Florida wide receivers. So I think, I don't know, we could be looking at I'd like to see another early hot start by Auburn, which is something they've, other than the Oregon game, has been something they've excelled in this year, which is getting off to a lightning fast start and holding no punches on their opening drive. So I'd like to see that from Auburn this weekend. I think Auburn runs away with this one, and Florida comes back late, 36-18.
I had a lot of hats today. I don't know if you know.
All right, Lee Corso.
I had a lot of hats. I had my Cardinals hat, had a Georgia Tech hat, and I had an Auburn hat.
None of them fit, by the way.
Because my ponytails.
Ponytail's fault.
This hat was actually, fun fact about this hat, it is also almost 10 years old. But this is a hat that I went to football camp with, or I didn't go with, but I went to football camp. It was the year that Auburn won the national championship.
Did you know Bo Nix was actually at the national championship when Auburn
Don't
won?
you bring that up. And Gene Chizik gave all of us these hats. Because as you see, they say national championship on the side. Because I went to that football camp for Auburn when I played high school football.
I cannot believe that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, so Gene Chizik gave me this hat. So it's an important hat. Good memories.
I'm glad that you and Gene carry such a special bond because of that moment.
Yeah, better bond than me and you have. All that being said, let's go ahead and end this show. All right, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Jack Hart and Carter Bird, for joining me on the show. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow.
I don't know. This could be Carter and I's final show if we don't make it back from Florida.
That's true. Wait, when are you leaving from Florida?
Me and Herbert are getting in the car 2 p.m. tomorrow.
All right, so you'll be on the show tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
That being said, thank you guys for watching and listening to Extra Point. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. That does it for the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and Eagle Eye TV. Want to watch more? Catch replays of the Extra Point on Eagle Eye TV by going to eagleeyeauburn.com. You can also go to WEGL 91.1 FM YouTube page for full replays. Want to listen more? We have you covered. Tune in to Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud and search WEGL 91.1 FM for more of the Extra Point and other sports content. Stay up to date with the latest news and sports by visiting WEGLFM.com. The Extra Point, bringing you the X's and O's from around the plains of Auburn and around the world of sports. Auburn's best sports talk radio show, Auburn's only sports talk TV show. Watch and listen live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. WEGL Sports, where every game lives.
I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday. I'm in Chris Brown's body. I drive his Ferrari. I would say, ooh la 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 la.